I'll just do something like this. Just so it's easier to sync it up if I have some sort of noise. Yeah.
Action.
Yeah. I actually didn't know that that's what that was for.
Yeah.
So they could like sync up the audio with the video.
Yeah.
And I was like, I just found that out like a week ago. Yeah. So that tells you how much I know about fucking film.
It's all a learning curve, right?
Yep.
But no, what I was saying is like fucking being with girls who smoke versus don't smoke. Like some chicks, right? They just take it to another extreme. You know, like where it's like every second of every day they either got to be stoned or vaping or doing something.
Yeah.
Where like for me, smoking's like kind of in the evening right before bed or if I'm going out doing something, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But then it's like fucking 5 a.m. wake up
Yeah,
before
yeah.
work. And you're like,
yeah.
What?
I mean, yeah.
Can't be a functioning part of society without smoking. It's like, okay.
I feel like that's like an addiction thing.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Most definitely, it's an addiction.
Yeah,
thing,
yeah. Like being sober is like too uncomfortable.
Yeah, but it's like not. I don't even.
Or what do you? I don't know. What do you think? That's my take on it. But,
well, yeah, I'm sure that is what it is, but
yeah,
like I don't know. I'm able to control these things, right? You know, like I can wait till after work or I can do this. But even with the vape, like for them, it's like doesn't leave their hand.
Yeah.
And you're like.
Yeah. Like they'll say something to you and then they're like.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or like wake up 5 times in the middle of the night just to fucking rip the vape. I remember that dating one girl. I'm like, holy fuck. I'm like,
yeah.
Just hearing that noise,
yeah, it pisses you off.
I'm like, why the fuck are you vaping right now? It's 4 a.m. Like, fucking wait till you get up, go outside, get some fresh air first. Like, holy fuck.
I definitely, like, even now, though, like, before bed, I'll be, like, hard on it before I fall asleep. But I definitely don't wake up in the middle of the night and...
No.
But right when I do wake up in the morning, though.
Yeah, go get that morning head rush.
Yeah.
Fuck, yeah, no, I feel you.
Yeah.
I usually wait till I'm like in the truck driving to work and then I'll fucking...
Yeah.
Get ready for the day. You're like, oh, fuck, let's go.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'd like to quit this eventually, but...
I've tried.
I don't know when.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I don't know. I try and I'm like, I'll go a few weeks or maybe even like a month and then one will just be available to me and I'm like, let me see that.
This doesn't bother me as much because it doesn't like change the way that you think about stuff.
Yeah.
You know? Like weed or booze. It's just like, I don't know. Just addicted, man. All started with the cigarettes and then...
I never even smoked cigarettes.
Yeah, I know.
Which is like...
You started on the vape.
Yeah, and I used cigarettes to quit vape.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whereas it's like I hate cigarettes so much, just the taste and the smell and everything. That was like a punishment to hack a dart. So I was like, smoke 1 dart at work or whatever, just to pass like the fiend or whatever.
Yeah.
And then get through the day just off 1 dart, and then did that for like a week, and then I just stopped and I was fine. But I don't know, that's probably not the most healthy alternative. Vaping to smoke cigarettes.
Yeah.
And then just start at ground zero again, buy another vape, and you're just like, fuck.
Yeah.
But anyways, guys, welcome to the podcast.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess this is officially the first episode. Yeah, I did have an actual original first episode, but the other party involved wasn't comfortable. No, my girlfriend wasn't comfortable with, releasing that side of our relationship to the world. And, of herself, which I have to respect because I think, like, being vulnerable and, like, honest with just anybody and everyone is definitely, like, hard to do.
Yeah, for sure.
like, it's probably one of the harder things that I've ever had to do.
Yeah.
But now it's, like, easy. Like, I don't mind telling, like, a stranger or anyone, like, yeah, I'm an alcoholic. What?
Yeah.
But you don't drink. Okay, well, I'm a recovered alcoholic. But, yeah. I still have that mind of an alcoholic, but I, like, there's things I need to do to, like, keep it quiet, you know what I mean? Otherwise, you know, it'll run rampant. And I won't want to drink again, but it just, like, gets crazy in there. Once I start thinking again on my own, then I'm in trouble.
Yeah. No, for sure.
But
I don't know. I guess you could say I'm an alcoholic too, but not to the extent, you know, like I definitely drink too much, but
yeah, I wouldn't say you are though, because like my parents drink every day, but they're not alcoholic.
Well, if you look at the term of an alcoholic, I mean, it's like more than 3 drinks a week or something like that makes you an alcoholic. Yeah,
but that's definitely not how I think about it. You know what I mean?
There's like there's levels to the shit.
Yeah, because if you can like have a couple drinks and then just like stop, then like you're not an alcoholic to me.
Yeah.
But if it's like I was, where once you have that first one, then it's like it's go time.
Those 7 a.m. Snapchats, fucking beer before work. You're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
That sort of thing, but
yeah.
What can you do?
Like, I remember like doing like 6 shots before driving to work, drinking a beer or something, get off work, stop at a liquor store. Oakley, what are you doing? We're drinking, ripping bongs, which was like, sometimes it was fine if it was like, like we only had a limited amount of beers or something.
Yeah.
Or if we were getting really high too, then it was like sufficient enough to like calm my thinking down.
Yeah.
That's like really what it is. Like, was just like me living in fear and like being super selfish and self-centered.
Yeah.
And like anything that happens is too much, or anything that happens is the best. Like any excuse to drink.
Yeah.
Or none at all.
Yeah.
Just like,
it's a Saturday, let's get fucked up.
Yeah. Or it's a Monday, let's get fucked up.
Yeah, fair enough.
But
we definitely have fun though. Not gonna lie about those fucking...
Like, you can't say that fun times weren't had, because they were, right? It's not like the whole time that I was drinking was like...
No, we had a blast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
Most of the time we had a blast. Fuck. Remember sometimes you get too fucked up and I'd have to take care of you, and then there's other times where I get too fucked up, like that one day at the lake. Fuck.
Yeah.
What we probably finished.
I don't know how much of me taking care of you I was doing, but...
Well, yeah, I was probably just passed out in the backseat of the car, fucking hanging out. Oh, I remember that night at the lake, though. Holy fuck. We probably finished, me, you, Andy, probably had like fucking 30 drinks or something like that. Fucking smoking, drinking, go to the border, freestyling on the fucking side of the road.
I was like, what day are you talking about? Yeah, I remember that.
Holy fuck. Yeah, no, I was fucked up that day.
Dude, I know.
That was a good day.
We're just like fucking, where cops are driving by.
Yeah.
All the doors of the car open, dude.
Blasting music, us just dancing in the road, fucking having fun.
Drinking, smoking.
Fuck it.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
Boys had fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do you think there was like, I've been wanting to ask you this, because like we didn't talk about it that much last time we hung out, you know what I mean? Like, we were just kind of chilling, which was like great and everything, but like, was there like a moment where you were like, was there like a pivotal moment where you were like, fuck, like...
Dan has a problem?
Yeah, like this is a lot deeper seated than what I...
When you started drinking before work.
Yeah.
When like... There's times it was like, yeah, if you have like 1 beer before work, I'm sure everyone's had a fucking beer before work one day just because fuck it.
Yeah,
but that's like a one...
Like a one-off, yeah.
A one-off, once in a while sort of thing. But when you're like, yeah, I'm taking shots before work. Like,
yeah.
Like, probably shouldn't be doing that, bro.
Yeah.
That's like, that's a little much.
Yeah.
But, or like, you even told me, like, bro, I had to. Like, I just needed it to get through the day. That's when I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
When you start needing it to function and, like, actually, like, feel normal, that's when I was like, okay, man.
Yeah.
Or, like, there's times when I'd, like, drop you off and we'd already been drinking. And then you'd be like, yeah, I'm going to the liquor store. And you're going to pick up more. And I'm like, it's already 10:30 on a fucking Wednesday. Like, we've already been drinking quite a bit.
Yeah.
Bro, why do you gotta go get more? Just go to bed.
Yeah.
Just go to bed, bro.
Yeah.
Fucking, what's the point? You know, like, it's not like we're doing anything or going out having more fun, you know? Like, the night's over.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of when I was like, okay, maybe there's, like, some more shit going on. But
yeah.
at the end of the day, like, we're all our own people, right? Like, we're all adults. I can't go up to you and be like, no more fucking drinking, man. What the fuck? Like, you're gonna make your own choices regardless. So that's where I kind of had to just step back and let you do your thing and figure it out on your own.
Yeah.
But I never thought that it was actually, like, to the extreme that you found in yourself that it was. Yeah. You know, I just thought we're fucking, you know, we're early 20s having fun, fucking drinking. Who gives a fuck, right? Like, boys are gonna drink. It is what it is. Yeah. And that's probably what you thought to yourself at the time, right? Like, we're fucking young. Like, we can go to the liquor store, buy fucking drinks. Like, why wouldn't I? You know, we wait our fucking entire childhood to be able to do that, right? Yeah. Fucking go have some fun, right? But yeah, no, it was like that was like the moment where I was like, okay, Dan's got some deeper issues, you know? And I'm like,
there's something else going on here.
That, or when you're, like, already, like, super fucked up and we're partying and I'm like, Kate, you're fucked, bud. Cut her off for the night. And you're running back inside, grabbing a 2-6, just fucking. And I'm like, Dan, stop. And you're like, fuck you. And I'm like, what the fuck, man? No. I'm like, no more.
you're clearly fucked up enough.
Yeah, like, you're already blackout. You don't know what's going on. You're like, where do I live? And I'm like, dude, stop drinking. And you're like, nope, I need more. Yeah. Shotgutted, chugging the 2-6, stealing someone's 2-6. I'm like, dude. Yeah. No. Enough is enough, man. I'm like, fuck. Yeah. Yeah. Just shit like that. I'm like, hey.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like that's why, like, our friendship has been, like, so good through all this. I never, like, lost respect for you or never, like, held a resentment towards you or anything like I did lots of other people. Because, like, you never told me, like, what to do. You just, like, were like, he's just got to figure this out on his own. Yeah. Like, you were never like, dude, this is, like, you're a fucking alcoholic. Yeah. Because if you, like, started putting that on me before I knew I was one, then I would have...
You would have like, fuck this guy or that sort of thing. Like, who does he think he is telling me what I am or what I'm not? And like, I've dealt with it in the past, you know, like, family members are alcoholics or have other addictions, right? And you want to say shit to them and be like, figure your fucking shit out. But then they turn on you and they can either start spiraling and getting worse. Or if you just, you know, like I tried to stop you at some times. Like I said, at the end of the day, like, we're adults and you're going to do what you're going to do, right? So I'd only say so much. And if you wanted to keep going, keep drinking, doing your own thing, I'm like, I can't. Yeah.
It's not like you're, like, pinning me down, like.
Like, I'm not your dad, right? Yeah. Like, that's it's on you to figure your own shit out, you know. And I'm happy you fucking grew up a bit and figured your own shit out and got sober, not drinking, that sort of thing. Like, happy for you.
Yeah, thanks, buddy.
I'm not gonna lie, I do miss fucking drinking with you though. Like, we had our fucking fun times. It's not. The main thing I miss though is, like, the routine, you know, back home in Chilliwack. Fucking, we both get off work at the same time, shower, I come pick you up with Milo, hit the liquor store, grab 8-pack PBR, hit the river, go for a walk or a bike ride, drink a couple beers, you know, fucking, that's what I miss the most, honestly, is just just doing that after work. But like I said, we both moved, fucking doing our own thing.
Yeah. I think that's what, like, a lot of this program, like, getting sober has been for me, is just, like, growing up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not that people who drink don't grow up, but, like, I was not growing up at all because...
Well, you were just stuck in the same mindset of...
Yeah.
Gotta get fucked up pretty much, and...
Yeah. And, like, yeah.
It's just the whole, like I would always say to you when you first started your journey of getting sober, I'm like, dude, it's just moderation. Like, don't drink so much, or don't drink until you get fucked up. Like, the rest of us, I guess, as non-alcoholics, like you'd say, we can drink, and at a certain point we can be like, okay, I'm good, that's it for the night, you know, I got my buzz going, like, I can still do what I gotta do, that sort of thing. But you were pushing it to the extremes, you know, like, I remember sometimes we'd go and get a thing of Fireball that was supposed to last us the entire night, and we'd be pulling out of the liquor store parking lot and it was half gone already, and I'm like,
dude,
I'm like, bro, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I'm like, what was that about? You're like, well, we bought it to drink, didn't we? I'm like, well, yeah, throughout the night, man. What the fuck? We're dummying half the bottle in one sip. But like I said, man, it is what it is, and just have to figure your own shit out. And,
we're all different at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But it's not like alcoholics don't exist, right?
Yeah.
But, like, for someone who isn't one, it's, like, really hard to wrap your head around, like... like, why can't you just have a couple of drinks?
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, I can't. Like, that's when it got really scary for me, too, is when I realized, like, I...
couldn't.
Yeah. Like, and then you, like, you just keep trying, because, like, your brain is like, oh, no, like, it'll be fine this time. Like, you're just going to have a couple beers and just, like, chill out. No, dude. Once I have that first beer, it is, like...
game on.
Yeah. It's scary, man.
Yeah.
Like, the thought of having one drink is, like, my biggest fear. Because I know, like, what'll happen. And it'll be worse than last time. And I guess, like, that was a big part of my addiction, too, and the selfishness is, like, everything was everybody else's fault. And, like... fuck you because you did this, and fuck her because she did this, and it was like, and like I didn't have any accountability or like introspection, you know?
Yeah. I definitely went through a period of drinking like that, though, where it was like, oh, this person did this, so I'm gonna get fucked up 5 days in a row. That sort of thing, you know, just go on a fucking bender, but I could always snap myself out of it at the end of the day, you know?
Yeah, and be like, whoa.
Well, you go on a 5-day bender and you wake up on a fucking Sunday morning just feeling like absolute ass, and well, you never really got hungover, but for me, like, once the bender came to an end and I felt how shitty I was feeling, I'm like, I can't do that anymore. And then I'd take like a month off, wouldn't drink at all. And then some other stupid shit would happen and you're like, fuck it, another bender, let's go. But like I said, always at the end of the day, I can fucking revert out of it and be like, no, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah. But I think that's a big problem, like, alcoholic or not, is, like, drinking to, like, suppress feeling stuff.
Yeah.
Because, like, if you never give yourself the chance to, like, feel those feelings, then, like, they get worse if you just push them further inside, you know what I mean?
No doubt.
But I think like sitting with your feelings is like difficult just for everyone to do.
Yeah, everyone has like a vice or something that they do to push away the feelings or whatever that you're feeling, whether it be drugs, alcohol, or even like food, or even healthy things like, well, I mean, that's like the best choice you can go, or like go fishing or fucking go spend a week in the mountains hunting, you know, fucking deal with your shit out there, that sort of thing. Like, everyone has like a vice or a crutch that they do to help them through shit, and it's just finding what works for you, right? And
I think there's like, I'd like to say there's like healthy addictions, but I don't know if I think I think any sort of addiction that you're like using to cope with the way that you feel is unhealthy.
In a sense, yeah.
You know what I mean by that?
Yeah.
Like just not giving.
Well, just not actually dealing with your shit and just doing something else to take your mind off it or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm guilty of that shit. So it's hard to like comprehend or think of like. For me to actually sit down and deal with my shit, find like way too hard. I'll deal with it in my own way, but I'm always doing something else to help me through it, you know, whether that be working or fucking driving 2 hours up a fucking mountain somewhere with the dog and you just go have a fire by yourself and just sit and chill.
Yeah. Because I like that kind of stuff too. Yeah. Like, it's not like I'm perfect.
Yeah.
But, like, a lot of the time, too, is, like, I'll just, like, sit and, like, just pray. Or just, like, meditate.
Yeah.
But when you have shit, like, going on, sometimes it's really hard to meditate. Because you're like, how the fuck do I just, like, stop my brain right now? Like,
my brain moves way too fast for me to just sit down and try not to think about anything and just... like...
But it is possible, though.
Oh, I'm sure it is, but like I said, actually doing that, dealing with my own shit or whatever, it's just, like I said, got to be doing something always.
Yeah.
Like I said, I deal with my shit, but in my own way over time. There is no, I'm dealing with this right now. I'm just going to sit here and fucking hash it out in my brain. Can't do that.
Yeah. I think... Because that's like, that's kind of like what I was victim to, is just like overthinking. And like, alcoholism's like a thinking disease, you know what I mean? Like, it's just my way of thinking that is so fucked up that like I need to drink.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, the alcohol is like a byproduct of like my selfishness and self-centeredness. Like, that's really what it boils down to at the end of the day. But if I drink again, then, like, those things will start to come back in. Like, then I'll start feeling sorry for myself. Then I'll disappoint all these people, right? And it's like, oh, yeah, I'm always welcome back to the place that got me sober.
Yeah.
But, like, after all, like, yeah, just, like, putting a drink to my lips is, like, the craziest thing that I could think of me doing.
Yeah.
Like, it's just so, like...
Well, it would just be taken... However long have passed, was it like 7 months now? 6?
Coming up on 6, yeah.
6 months, like, you're just going right back to ground zero.
Yeah, and like, probably worse.
Well, yeah, like, I've even had this talk with, like, people that know you, like my mom or Jamie or whoever, right? And just thinking about, like, if you do drink again, like, we all know that it's just going to be...
Yeah, it's going to be bad.
Like... dangerous.
Yeah.
And that's why, like, I'm happy and all the people that know you are happy that you're figuring this shit out because, like I said, if you do go down that path again, we know it's not going to be the same as the first time. It's going to be a lot worse. And
exactly,
nobody wants to see that, right?
Yeah. And I think people who, like, I don't know, like, I'm assuming your mom has a little bit more knowledge on like addiction than the average person by the sounds of it.
Yeah.
Because lots of people don't really like, it's just a really hard thing to try and like.
Well, she's had your back through since like the start or whatever, where I'm like, I'd be telling her about like your journey or whatever. I'm like, why can't he just have one fucking drink? You know, like the whole moderation thing. I'm like, how fucking hard is it to not just not get fucked up, you know, and just chill and have a couple beers? And she's like, well, it's just not how they are. Like, he can't. Yeah. And I'm like, but why not?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
You know, I can.
Yeah.
I thought me and Dan were pretty similar, you know, like we're fucking best friends. Why can't he just have a couple? And she's like, well, that his brain just can't have one, you know, like he tastes the alcohol and like you said, it lights a fucking fire inside and you're like, whoa.
Yeah, it's off to the races.
Fucking give me more right now. And as soon as you're out, you're like, well, fuck, liquor store, let's go.
Yeah.
More. And that's where she's had your back on that, kind of explaining to me that like alcoholics can't just have one or two, right? And so like she deals with that shit at work all the time, whether it be alcoholics or fucking heroin addicts, fentanyl addicts.
Oh yeah, so she's
like people that like she's seen people get completely sober, get their kids back, and then they have one day at work and they go on a fucking 2-week bender doing fentanyl on the side of East Hastings, right? And they lose their kids again forever, and that sort of thing.
Yep.
Like, she's like,
what does she do for work again?
She's a social worker.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so like she sees parents fucking going through shit, and like I said, one bad day at work, someone's been sober for like 2 years, and they fucking throw their entire life away for the needle once again. And like I said, man, don't want to see you ever get to that point, right? Like,
yeah, because someone on the outside, like even me prior to getting help, would be like, dude, what the fuck? Like, you were doing so good for 2 years, and then one little thing happens, and yeah, that's why I'm like very like people who have like a lot of long-term sobriety, like in the program, like I always ask them like how have you stayed sober for so long? Yeah. Or like people will be sober for like 7-9 years or however long, and then like they relapse. Yeah. And then I'm like how the fuck did that happen? Yeah. Because like I need to know so I don't do that. Yeah. Otherwise, like, because I can't even imagine. Already, I'm like, dude, if I relapse right now, like, yeah. Like, I might kill myself. Like, that's how serious it is, because when I got to, like, that point of desperation, like, that was the first time ever where I was, like, genuinely, like, wanting to die. Like, I didn't see any other way out, because it was just, like, I finally realized, like, this is just a repeating cycle. Like, I've been doing this for so long. Yeah. And nothing's, like... It was like the final realization of like I need to change. Yeah. Because I can't, and like AA was the only thing I hadn't tried, so it's like I need to try this. Yeah. And then sure enough, like that was my answer, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm a fucking alcoholic for sure. Yeah. For sure. Yeah. There was no squandering about that. Yeah. Like it was that's the first step of recovery, is like admitting that I'm powerless over alcohol and my life's become unmanageable. I'm like, oh yeah. Yeah. And this shit just keeps, like, it's just crazy, like, what can happen, and it's just not enough. And then people on the outside are like, dude, what? Like, you crashed your car, you lost this. Like, dude, like, what are you doing? Yeah. And it's just like, dude, I don't know. Yeah. I'm just
fucking riding the liquor train, I guess. That sort of thing, right?
Because like, people would ask, like, dude, why can't you just have a couple of drinks? And then it was, like, at that point where it was, like, sad internally, because it's like,
because you like, want to be able to just have the couple drinks and be fucking
or just not drink at all
or whatever. Yeah,
but I was like, I don't know, like I just can't. Yeah. And I don't know how to. And then you have people like, oh, you just need to like pick up a new hobby or like do this, and I'm like, you don't think I've tried that, dude? Like I can't do anything sober either. So that was like a big fear when I first got sober, was like, dude, how am I going to do this shit sober?
I know. Well, that's...
Like, how do you go fishing sober? I don't fucking know.
Well, yeah. It's same with, like, weed or whatever, you know? It's always just like, yeah, we can go do that, but how much better would it be if we just smoked a joint first, you know? Or fucking took a toke, something like that, you know? Like, just little shit, like fucking going to the movies or fucking going to the lake or hanging out at the river, you know? Yeah. It's like, yeah, you can do that sober, but...
Yeah,
who the fuck wants to do that, right?
Yeah,
you know, it's just learning to just enjoy life how it is, right? And fucking actually taking it all in. Like I know, like I fucking
that's spot on.
I was smoking way too much weed at a point in my life where like same shit. Like I couldn't do anything not high. Like whether it was going to the movies or fucking going to the grocery store, I'm like, fuck it, I want to get stoned before I do this.
Yeah.
Why would I want to go do that sober, right? Yeah. But then once like you kind of break out of that cycle and like I stopped smoking weed for a long time and just started enjoying shit for how it is, you know? You actually like take so much more in, you know? Like weed, I found weed suppress everything so much to where I'm out doing these things, but I wasn't actually enjoying it because I was just fucking stoned off my ass, you know? I was doing it, but I was just there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, because when you're high or drunk or whatever, right? Like, yeah, you're there, but you're not there.
Yeah, you're not present.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, just that sort of thing, right? And it's like learning to actually like appreciate everything for how it is, and like actually just going out and enjoying life, you know, like not suppressing everything or fucking filtering it through drugs or whatever substance you're doing, right? You know? Like,
yeah. Yeah, it's like you're looking through like a different like lens.
Yeah.
Like you gotta filter on, but then like once you take it off, it's like, whoa.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that was kind of, like that's another big thing for me is like I couldn't live life on life's terms. Like everything was too much or everything was not enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everything was a problem. Yeah. Except for me though, I was perfect when I was drinking, right?
Yeah.
Then I start drinking, everything goes away, and I'm fucking Superman. But
yeah,
everyone around me is like, dude, you are fucking super drunk.
Yeah. No, for sure. There's been many times where I could tell you're having the time of your life, and I'm just like, fuck, here we go. I'm like, fucking taking care of Dan tonight.
And I think, like, alcoholic or not, like you were saying, like, there's addiction comes in so many different forms.
Yeah.
Alcohol just being obviously one of the worst ones, right?
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's like not being able to live life on life's terms.
Yeah.
Like, when something happens, it's like, oh, I need to
get fucked up to be able to,
like, forget about this. But you don't forget about it.
Well, you forget about it for whatever the few hours drunk or whatever.
But usually the next day, like, those feelings are worse.
Well, yeah, because you got the regret of getting fucked up. And, like, well, like I said, you don't really get hungover, but in a sense, you would get hungover because just the emotions and everything, because you've suppressed them for the entire day before. Yeah. They're fucking hitting you twice as hard the next day. Like an
emotional hangover.
Yeah. Where like,
plus a physical, possibly.
Yeah, like you've drowned everything out for this set period of time. Now it's all rushing back in now that you're sober or whatever. And you're like, holy fuck. Like, mind's racing, and then it just starts to cycle again where you're like, shit, now I feel even shittier than I did yesterday when I started drinking. Well, now I gotta fucking keep drinking again. Yeah. And that's just like the vicious cycle of addiction or alcoholism, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And it's just figuring out how to get out of that and deal with your shit, right?
Yeah.
Or find something to help you deal with that shit like you did with AA, and being able to talk to people like you and figure out how they did it and take their knowledge of growing and evolving past it or whatever and doing it your own way.
Yeah. That was kind of like, that's what was so like, nobody ever understood, right? Including myself. So then when I went there, it was like, oh yeah, I did that too. And then like I started to hear these stories like, holy fuck, that's me.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit. Yeah, like, because getting sober, like, it just like, being sober.
Well, getting sober is the easy part. Staying sober is the fucking hard part.
Yeah.
Or whatever, right?
But now I have like the tools to like stay sane and just like. Yeah. Yeah. I think like that's the big part of like having like the higher power, like God, is like ultimate faith in whatever happens. Yeah. Like whatever his plan is for me, that's like what's going to happen. I can't like change that, you know what I mean? Yeah. Not like, well, I can change things, I got sober, but like that was part of his plan, you know what I mean by that? Like step 3 is like turning your will over to God. Yeah. And like I was like, what the fuck does that even mean? Yeah. Like, what do you mean turn my will over to God? Yeah. But somebody said to me, which like really helped me understand it and make sense of it, they were just like, when your will doesn't align with God's will for you, you'll feel it like in your heart. Like you just won't feel right. Yeah. And I was like, oh, that's easy. That's like that. It's like in the big book too, it says like God is in every man, woman, and child. Right? And like when you first start the program, you're like, I gotta tell everyone about God. But like, definitely don't fucking do that. 'Cause people get pissed off.
Yeah,
I would get pissed off, right?
Well, yeah, even when you first started or whatever, and you start fucking going on about all this God stuff, like me as a non-believer or whatever. Well, I believe something's out there, you know.
That's all my thing is too, but
I can't like say God or this or that or whatever. But I remember when you first started on like doing AA and starting this journey or whatever, you started rambling on about God or the Savior or whatever, and I'm like
the Savior.
Oh, well, I'm like, bro, I'm like, fuck. I'm like, what? I don't. Not that I don't care, but I'm like, dude, you can't.
Yeah, nobody likes the preacher.
Yeah, like, and not gonna lie, you started preaching a little bit, and I'm like, dude, I'm like, I don't.
Yeah, shut the fuck up.
I'm like, what are these people doing to you, bro?
Yeah.
I'm like, no.
You're joining a cult.
Literally. I'm like, dude, I can't have these like conversations with you, not like just because my mind isn't in the same place or whatever, right? And I'm like, I can't even have these discussions just because. Like I said, I don't believe or whatever, but like after hearing you go on about it, you know, I understand. And even shit happening in my own life now where I'm like, something's looking out for me.
Yeah.
Something has me on a set path, right? Like
exactly.
I said the other day, almost fucking died in a car accident, right? Like God didn't or whoever, right?
Yeah.
They didn't want me to die then, so thank God, I guess, for that, right? Like, just little shit that's starting to make me believe that there is something out there. But, like I said, it's so hard for me to put a name on it or to actually sit down and, like, pray or that sort of thing.
Yeah. Like, I only have the word God for it because, like, that's what it's referred to in all the literature.
Yeah.
But it also, like... It's just, all it is like something bigger than yourself. Yeah. Like, it's not like God like it is in Christianity or any of those things. It's just like, it can literally be whatever you want. Yeah. Like, your higher power could like be your vape. Like, seriously, like, if that's what works for you, then it's like... Yeah. That's what you can do. Like, that's kind of the best thing about the program is like, everybody practices the program differently.
In their own way.
Yeah. Like, we all do like the 12 steps of recovery. And, like, that's what keeps you sober for life. But, like, you actually have to live by them, too. But, like, whatever your higher power is, like, whatever your higher power is. Like, nobody can tell you, like, it's the guy with the fucking big beard. And, like, because I would say, like, I haven't met a single person, unless they come in, I don't know. Like, I actually haven't met a single person in the program that, like, believes in, like, Jesus Christ. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's, like... Even people, like, lots of people come into the program from, like, Christian or, like, Catholic backgrounds, like, as a child. Yeah. And then they come into the program and, like, they have to toss all of that out the window and, like, restart. But, yeah. I think that's kind of, like, the best part about it. It's, like, but otherwise it wouldn't work. Like, nobody's, like, telling me what to do. Yeah. Otherwise, like, everyone would be like, dude, fuck off. Like,
and that's kind of how I thought it was when you first started or whatever, because like you started preaching right away, and I'm like,
and I probably was kind of like that, like, dude, if you just fucking like,
yeah,
if you just believe, dude, like, you
definitely did,
like,
there's
for sure,
like paragraph text messages where you're like, bro, if you just find God or the higher power or whatever, like you will be saved, that sort of thing. I'm like, dude, I don't think I need to be saved right now.
Like, you're like, dude, what the fuck?
I'm like, you know what, man, like, you're doing your thing. I'm like, I'm not gonna tell you, bro, shut the fuck up. Like, I don't care, right? I'm like, I'm like, he's gotta go through this and he's gonna fucking tell me about it. I'm like, okay, I'll listen. But I'm not gonna like change my entire life and I guess join the same path just because
it's doing somebody else good. Because you don't need it. Like, I can tell you that you're not an alcoholic, so it's like you definitely don't think the same way that I did and like still do sometimes, but
like, I fucking hate drinking half the time.
Yeah, exactly.
But like, obviously there's times when, you know, it's like go to the bar with friends or even at work, like especially working out of town right now in camp. All I have to do at the end of the day is like all that's out there in northern Alberta is for me to go hop in my truck, not even go driving anywhere just because we're in a dry camp. I go sit in my truck in the parking lot, have a cooler in the back seat with a couple beers, and I just sit there.
Yeah.
Hang out for 2 hours, have 4 beers or whatever, and then it's like, okay, I guess it's bedtime.
Yeah.
And that's like the daily routine.
Mm-hmm.
Where like, but then I'll get to a point, right? Because I'm out there for 23 days. You do that for like the first week, and then you're like, well, fuck. Kind of over this shit. And that's how I know I don't have like a problem, because there's guys that I work with where they're like fucking dummying a 15 case a night, and they're doing that every single day for 23 days, where I'm having like my 2-3 beers in my truck for like a week, and then I'm like, I'm not drinking anymore. And then like me and the boys like, well, go out after work one day, drive into town, go to the bar and get way too fucked up.
Yeah.
But then that's just like, that's a once a hitch sort of deal, right? It's not like we're getting fucked up every night sort of thing, right?
Yeah.
And I'm happy that I'm not at that point or have to fucking deal with, I need to fucking drink every night.
Yeah.
And I guess that's how I know I'm not an alcoholic too.
Yeah, exactly.
But then again, like I said, you can still look at it in the sense of like the actual term for alcoholic. If you're having more than 3 drinks a week, you're an alcoholic, right? Yeah. Like,
I feel like that's like a social problem. Is like that's something that like bothered me a couple times when I first got sober. Was like, oh yeah, dude, like yeah, I'm an alcoholic. Like I have a drink every day. I was like, dude, you are not an alcoholic.
Like what, you had 2 beers? That's cute.
Yeah.
That sort of thing.
Yeah. But I mean, I feel like that is like part of the goal of this podcast too, though. Mainly to help people like struggling with addiction, but also just to talk to like friends or like people that interest me. Like the conversation doesn't have to revolve around alcoholism or addiction, but like,
it's good to talk about, and I
don't
want to say make light of it, but
well, that's what I was bring light to it, like the subject.
I'm not. What I'm saying is like not make light of being an alcoholic. Like obviously that's a serious issue, but it doesn't have to be like fucking life ending. It's like you can get out of it if you take the steps and work towards it, and you really want it. Like coming out of any addiction, you have to want to get sober, not to make other people happy because people are telling you to, but you yourself have to want to get sober for you, and that's the only way it's ever going to work.
100%.
Is like if someone's telling you get fucking sober, you're like, fuck you. Why the fuck would I do that? Right? Like I don't want to get sober. But once that, I guess, fire inside you goes off, and you're like, well, I have to get sober now. That's when you
that's what like, and I hear that in the program all the time too, and I'm glad that's like not my story. Not glad, but just grateful, I guess. Is like I wasn't going in there to get sober for anyone else, like because like it got to that point, right, where like I just wanted to die, but it was like I couldn't look at myself in the mirror anymore, because it was like I just like couldn't believe.
Didn't like who you became.
And it was like that final realization of who I was. Sort of, you know what I mean? Like, whoa. Like, whoa. Like we're repeating history here. And like I think that's insanity, right? I always remember that from Far Cry 3. People say it, and I always think of Far Cry 3. You ever play that game?
Like a little bit.
You might have seen like a clip of it. Voss, the guy with the mohawk or whatever. Yeah, he says, the definition of insanity or whatever, and he's like doing the same thing over and over, expecting different results. And like that's exactly what I was doing. Like the whole time, like expecting like, well, every time I drink, I black out pretty much. But then like that's like why it's a thinking disease, because my brain will be like, oh, it's gonna be different this time. Like, and then like seeing other people drink, like have a couple and like be fine, have a good night all the time. It's like I'll try to like pursue that into like the gates of death or insanity.
Yeah.
If I don't get help.
Yeah.
Like I just will.
You'll just keep trying to
Yeah.
be the normal drinker or whatever.
Yeah.
But just
I never will. It's not like one day through drinking so much that
you're gonna go, huh? Maybe I only need a couple beers actually.
Yeah.
No.
Because that is my thought before I start drinking.
Mm-hmm.
But then once I have that first drink, it's like, oh, that's in the garbage.
Yeah.
Everything's right. Because I guess all those feelings of like fear and everything go away. But then the ego gets like really big, and it's like, definitely a big ego problem too.
Yeah.
That's, that like when I was like being preachy man or whatever, that's like, but that's like something I had to go through to learn.
Yeah.
Not unfortunately, like it's fortunate, but kind of sucks for like a few people around me who are just like, dude, stop fucking.
Yeah.
Stop trying to tell me what to do, dude. If I was doing this while you were drinking, you'd like rip my head off, right?
Yeah, you'd be like, what the fuck are you on about right now? Shut the fuck up. Yeah.
Because that was definitely me before the program. Like if anyone talked about God or like spirituality, I was like, get stuffed, dude.
Yeah.
Get fucked.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things where it's like, if it is something you choose to pursue or like it is part of your path, then like you'll find it on your own. Like I can't tell you, like if I tell you like, dude, you need God, you're gonna be like, now I don't want God.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if you come to a place where like, like I think that's like tradition 11 or something. I'm not as well versed on the traditions as the steps, but it's like attraction rather than promotion, essentially. Like I don't need to talk about like God, spirituality, blah blah.
Yeah.
It's like I just need to like lead by example, and if they're interested, then they'll be like, hey, what's like, how have you been sober for so long? Like, how are you so happy with just life? And it's like, then when people ask, then I can give answers.
Yeah.
But I don't need to go out there giving answers to questions nobody's asking.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
That was something that I had to learn and become more educated in the program and just how it works.
Yeah.
Because that's just something you don't do if you're part of the program, because then it will get like, I related it once at a meeting to like, we'll become like fucking Jehovah's Witnesses, and nobody likes those fuckers.
Yeah.
They come knocking at you. Yeah. Have you heard about the Lord and Savior? You're like, get the fuck off my porch. Yeah.
Fuck, I love fucking with those guys when they come knocking.
Yeah.
Like, do you got a minute to talk about our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ? Like, well, actually, I do.
Yeah.
You fucking tell me.
Yeah. And like, I would probably do that now. Right? And be like, no, fake. Because like, so much of the stuff that they like, oh no, like, I don't know exactly what religions or whatnot, but like, no, you can't be gay. You can't do this. You can't do this.
Yeah.
God hates you if you do this.
Yeah.
You're going to hell if you do this. I'm like, that is so far from my understanding, right?
Yeah.
Because mine's just like, he, she, or the entity, I guess, is them. Like, yeah. It's like, my God is like everything, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, he loves you no matter what, right? And it's like always understanding.
Yeah.
But if you're not like trying to establish or like have a connection with your higher power, then
yeah,
how would you know that, I guess, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, it was just so weird, like having like a crazy spiritual awakening like that.
Yeah.
Because it's so like, it's like you finally like open your eyes for the first time.
Yeah.
It's like you can't really put it into words.
I can hear where you're coming from on that, but like I said, like I don't have that spiritual connection or whatever, right? And like not that I don't want to or whatever, but just like there's no desire to find that in my life right now, just because I don't. It's not that I don't need it or that I don't want it, it's just I haven't had that, you know, like that click or whatever where you're like, yeah, fucking, like you said, a spiritual awakening. Like I just haven't had that, and I think if I'm going to have that, I guess it just needs to happen on its own.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can't force it or...
like I said the other day, I was like, well, maybe something is out there looking after me, right? Like, just little shit like that slowly opens my eyes a bit more each day, I guess. But even then, I'm like, well, fuck, maybe I was just lucky.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
and I think that's kind of the start of it, too. Like, if you didn't believe in anything at all, then, like, you wouldn't see those things like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You just be like, oh, like, what a coincidence.
Yeah.
Which is, like, a lot of what I used to chalk that stuff up to.
Yeah.
Is like, oh, yeah, like, fuck, I'm lucky.
Yeah.
But it's like, once I had that spiritual awakening, like, I look back, and it's like when I crashed my car, like, you know, drive home, and I was like, how'd you get home? Like, I don't know. Well, your car's here. Oh, I guess I drove home. Like, right? Like,
yeah, and you're like,
don't remember. Like, yeah, and you find out the next morning, like, and then it's like, oh, well, that was scary, but like not enough not to drink anymore.
Yeah.
Like nothing was enough until it was like, till I hit that point of like desperation where like,
yeah,
like I feel like ending everything because it's just too much.
Yeah.
But everyone's like bottom is different, and you don't even need to hit a bottom to have a spiritual awakening. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, like crashed my car and stuff. After I got sober and had a spiritual awakening, it was like, whoa, dude. Like, I'm lucky I did not kill anyone ever.
Yeah. Through
drunk driving or like, kill someone in my passenger seat or like, total my car. Like, it's just very like, I don't think that's all luck because something's like, it's, you know, like, it's like God was trying to show me like, hey, dude, like something's got to change or like this, because things just progressively were getting worse.
Like little warnings.
Yeah,
almost.
yeah.
Like, I don't want to say that God, well, I guess everything happens for a reason or the creator, whatever, right?
Yeah.
Like you're on their path, and like if that is how it is, and like for you or even for me, right? Like they're like little tests or what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know, but like they put that shit in your life as like little warnings or tests as like, hey, this is what's to come if you keep going down this path, right? Like these are like, you got lucky this time, but if you keep going, you might not be as lucky next time, right?
Yeah.
That was even for me, like when I crashed, I wasn't fucking drunk or anything like that. Like, yeah, I had a few beers earlier in the night, but by this time I had drank in like fucking 6 hours, 7 hours, but just exhaustion and fucking working long ass fucking days or whatever, staying out till 3 a.m, right? And driving home. Like I shouldn't have done that. I probably should have just stayed at like my buddy's place out there, right? And just crashed and got up early, you know, and drove home in the morning. But I was like, nope, I need to get back right now. And sure enough, 4 a.m, fucking fall asleep behind the wheel and go flying off the highway at 120 kilometers an hour into a fucking farmer's field, right? Like, yeah, just that was like a warning of like, dude, if you know that you're too tired to drive or whatever, just fucking don't try and push it, right? And like that was my lesson that I took from it. Like, if I'm too tired now, just pull over the side of the road, 20-minute nap. You know, don't just fucking push through the fucking bobbing off sort of thing, right? Like that was my lesson, I guess, from that, is like just fucking.
And like, quick question, like when you're like doing this drive or whatever, like, do you kind of have a feeling of like this, maybe I shouldn't be doing this, or like maybe this is a little bit?
I knew that I was way too tired to drive. Like, I was fucking going off. Like, I was woke up at 4:45 the morning prior, worked a fucking 12-hour day, drove an hour and a half to go see Malcolm, right? Went golfing, so it's not like I'm hanging out, you know, relaxing. Like I'm out walking the golf course, doing this, still doing more physical activity, right? And then staying out all night and, like I said, having a couple drinks while golfing or whatever, but then stop drinking after that and just, like I said, going on like almost a 24-hour day, pretty much, and driving home. I was like, like I said, I was fucking bobbing at the fucking wheel, and I'm like, fuck, like I shouldn't be driving right now, but where I crashed, I was 10 minutes from my camp. And like, if anywhere else on that fucking highway that I was on, if I crashed anywhere else, I would have been dead. Whether it be trees, fucking rocks, anything like that, I crashed in the most perfect fucking spot too. No damage to the truck, no damage to me, right? And like I said, fucking thank whoever that someone was looking out for me, and that like I said, my Oma prays for me every day, right? And
then weird, I was thinking about you too, right?
You told me that you were thinking about me that morning, and I'm like, well, fuck. Yeah, because that could have been, I could have been dead. Easily. Like I said, there's fucking rocks on either side. There's like, you know, in like the ditch when it's someone's driveway. And like, there's like the fucking metal tunnel that goes through where their driveway is. That was like 50 feet in front of where I crashed to. So if I drove off there and fucking hit that, metal tube right through the fucking front of the truck, rocks, anything, trees, telephone poles, barbed wire fence, like, something was looking out, and I'm the most lucky motherfucker on the fucking face of the earth that I was able to drive out of that situation with no damage to the truck and no damage to me. But like at the end of the day, fuck the truck. Who cares about the truck? Right? Like that's like my safety matters more than the truck, right? And like it was just a bad situation that I put myself in, and like I said, you learn from it. Thank God no one got hurt. Thank God I didn't fucking go on the other side and go head on with someone or whatever, right? Like some guy I work with, he said like a month ago, one of the bosses left work after doing like he was there for like 2 months, worked 12-hour days every day for 2 months, left straight from the rig or whatever, same thing, fell asleep behind the wheel, but he went fucking head on with a family in a minivan and killed fucking 3 kids and injured both the parents, right? Like, Jesus, like shit like that could have happened, right? And just fucking crazy shit like that. Or another guy that we work with, he was working on a rig, and same thing, few months back, fell asleep behind the wheel, went head on with a fucking semi, killed himself, right? Like, just have to take in, like, we all work really fucking hard and we're all tired, right? Like, and just if you know you can't drive, or if you're getting tired, just fucking pull over, take that. What's an extra hour versus your life, right? Like, we all want to get home at the end of the hitch, right? Like, that's the first thing that's on my mind on the last day, right? Get in the truck, you're like, getting home right now. But it's a 10.5 hour drive, right? And like, bound to get tired on that drive for sure. And like I said, what's an extra hour to pull over, have a nap, and not be falling asleep at the wheel versus trying to push through and get home as fast as possible and fucking killing yourself or some family, right? It's not worth it.
No.
Same thing with drinking and driving or whatever, right? Like, you only had a couple beers, but you don't know how much that could have affected you, or right, like, or your judgment, or right, like, I know there's times where I've had a couple or whatever, and you know, you don't think you're drunk, but you're feeling good, ripping home or going wherever you're going, and you're taking corner a little bit too fast, and you think you're apexing it and you come out and you're like, holy fuck, I can't turn the wheel fast enough, and you're going into the oncoming lane and you're like, oh, good thing there wasn't a fucking car there, right? Like, just shit like that, and it's like, it's not worth it at the end of the day.
Yeah. Because you can literally guarantee that you'd be more in tune if you're sober.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That you're more, like, whether you're sober or had a rest and you're wide awake, right? Like, yeah. It's just little shit like that.
Yeah. I think, that's been a huge part of, like, the spiritual journey, too, is just, like, living in the now. Like, and there's this quote that I really like, from, you know who Dax Shepard is? You seen the movie Without a Paddle?
Yeah.
Or have you seen, I've seen that movie?
Without a Paddle. It's like a comedy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like the younger blonde guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, him. So he's an alcoholic, and he has a podcast or whatever. And he's an AA too, and but anyhow, he has this quote that I really like, and it's like, if you have 1 foot in yesterday and 1 foot in tomorrow, you'll piss all over today. And it's like,
that's a good quote.
Yeah.
I like that quote.
Me too. 'Cause it's like, if I'm not living like now and today, and I'm thinking about yesterday or what I'm going to do tomorrow, then like, I'm not in trouble of drinking again, but I'm just in trouble of not being present and like enjoying this, or like, because I'm thinking about like, oh fuck, I could have done this better yesterday. Like,
I have those thoughts a lot though, too, and like, I'm definitely guilty of, I guess, not living in the moment as much as I could, because I'm always thinking about what's next, or fucking going back to work, or what am I going to do tomorrow to make, or like just shit like that, like what am I going to do to make my life better in the long run, and I'm always just thinking about the future, and that's kind of where I'm like stuck in this hole of overthinking, and like I'm definitely guilty, like the biggest overthinker ever, just because I want, like everyone, I want to live the fucking best life possible. Yeah. And figuring out how to get there to that point by making myself happy and being comfortable with the situations that I'm in. Like, I feel like nothing's ever good enough. Yeah. Like, I want the best of everything. But as a fucking 22-year-old kid, you know, like not coming from money or anything like that, having to work my fucking ass off for everything that I want, I find it so hard to be happy, like seeing kids that we grew up with, you know, like getting fucking houses bought for them, or like fucking dad has a company and right out of high school they get given this job where they're making $100,000 a year, right? And you're like, why the fuck can I have that? They look so happy, you know, they got all this fancy shit, nice boats, all this sort of thing, right? And I'm like, just trying so hard to, I guess, I want to say be someone that I'm not, but in the sense, like, I want all this shit, and that's what's always running through my mind is what can I do to be on that level or get to the next level, you know?
Well, now's the perfect time to share another good quote with you then.
Oh, okay, lay it on me.
Comparison is the killer of joy.
Well, fuck, I know that for sure.
But, yeah, I mean, it's not like I'm definitely not victim to that anymore, but, yeah, it definitely was. Like money, power, and prestige, right? But, yeah, like, those things aren't gonna, like, make you feel fulfilled, though, you know what I mean? Like, I'll elaborate a little bit. Like, money and materialistic things, don't get me wrong, like, they help. Yeah. But they're not gonna bring you that sense of, like, purpose and, like, complete fulfillment, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, because you'll keep chasing, like, bigger and bigger and better and better, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, that goal that you have in your mind is, like, essentially never actually achievable, because, like, you won't be happy even if you have the, like, you know what I mean? But then there's like, also, it's a lot deeper than that.
There's also, like, I could fight that and be like, yeah, I'd much rather be crying in a Porsche, though, fucking ripping down the highway than a 99 Honda Civic or something like that, you know?
But if you achieve this other sense of happiness, then like it won't matter what you're driving, but like when you do have those things, you'll be like that much more grateful and
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you'll be like, whoa, like you won't even believe that you actually obtained these things. But that's why like I got stuck in that too, like fuck, what am I gonna do for a career? Like what does the rest of my life look like? But it's like I can't go there because that's like a dangerous game to be played in my head. Mm-hmm. Like I'd say for everybody, like your mind is like the most dangerous place you can live.
Yeah. Right?
Because it'll tell you you're never gonna fucking amount to. You're never gonna get that boat. You'll never get that. Like
I get stuck in that too. Yeah. Like where like I said, working fucking slaving my ass off pretty much. Mm-hmm. You know, trying to get ahead and make all this money, but I find like I said, I work out of town, and while I'm away. Being away for 3 weeks at a time is so hard. Like, puts me into this fucking constant depression almost. Mm-hmm. And, like, being like, why the fuck am I out here? Yeah. Like, I hate my life every single day. Mm-hmm. And then, like, yeah, I get a nice paycheck. It makes it a little bit better, but I'd so much rather be at home spending time with the girlfriend and my dog and being able to see friends more regularly, you know? Like, I haven't seen friends in fucking months now because, like, I live in 2 hours away from our hometown, right? Like, or all the friends are and that sort of thing. And when I'm on days off, I only get 10 days off. I don't want to... I don't want to drive the fucking 2 hours to go hang out with a couple people for a little bit, you know, and have some fake bullshit conversation that, oh, how's it going? How's this? How's that? It's like... You don't call me every day, like, we don't text every day, right? Like, why do you, like, what, right? Like, why am I coming to see you? Like, I know, like, the reason I don't drive back home is because I know people aren't going to drive up to come see me. You know what I mean? Like.
I did.
Well, I know you did, right? But
I'm not as far, but.
Me and you we're.
Yeah, we don't need to text and call every day.
Well, exactly. And I'm not saying that about you. Like, I know we don't text every single day or whatever. That's because we don't have to.
Yeah, exactly.
But other people that I'm not as fucking tight wound with, you know?
Yeah.
Like, they're like, oh, when are you going to come see me?
Yeah.
When are you going to come see me?
Yeah.
Like, I work 1,100 kilometers away. I fucking just drove that home. I'm not going to drive another fucking 300 kilometers to come see you for an hour and maybe go for dinner or something like that. It's like, if you want to see me, you know where I live, right? Like you can come up. It's no big deal, but for me to come down there and see you, right? It's more of a hassle, right? Where for you, it's just like, well, not you, but them, I guess. For them, it's if you really want to see me, you could fucking call me while I'm at work and be like, hey, like, when are you on days off? Like, I want to see you. I'll come up there, you know, right? Like, got a fucking spare room, right? Like, anyone can come over and crash. But they don't want to, so why am I putting forth that effort to go all the way up there and see them?
It has to be an equal effort, right?
Exactly, right? And, like, I just fucking...
Yeah. That's something I realized, too, like, moving away from the coast is, like, how many of those people, like, reached out to me, like, hey, how you doing? Like, what's going on? It's like, dude,
I found...
Close to none.
I found lots of friends, I guess, that we had in town were only friends because it was convenient to them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Well, we were around, so I was like, okay, let's hang out.
Or it's like the drinking or smoking buddy.
Yeah, like, oh, it's the weekend, let's go drink, or let's do this, right? Where now it's like that we live far away. All these people, it's like, well, we're not there to go fucking drink or do this, whatever, all the time, right? So, like, they just think, oh, well, he's too far away.
Yeah.
Why even bother?
Yeah.
It's like, okay, I guess we weren't really that close of friends then.
Yeah.
You know, like, if we were actually best friends like you said we were, you'd be like, oh, fuck, you're on fucking days off, or, oh, I got some time, I can drive up there, let me come see you, you know? And if people start driving up to see us, then fuck yeah, we'll go drive down and see them or whatever. Yeah. But I'm not gonna fucking waste the money, the gas, the time, the energy to go and see these fake people, right? Like I just moving out here made me realize, like, fuck all the fake people, all the fake friends, like if you want to reach out and talk to me, you can. Yeah. But if you're not going to, don't expect.
Yeah, I do have a phone.
Yeah.
But
phone's always on. We always have it in our fucking pocket. Like, how hard is it to fucking call me for 5 minutes? Be like, hey, how's it going?
That's the thing is like I really appreciate just like a phone call. Yeah. Like, talk to me like 5 minutes. And they're just like, oh, I just wanted to see like what you've been up to, like how you've been doing. And it's like that means a lot more to me than
a text. Hey.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up?
Which is fine too. I mean, anything's better than nothing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean.
But going back, they don't do that because us being out here we're not convenient to them. Why would they reach out? It's not like we can hang out or whatever. It's like, and that's what I hate too. It's like if we were actually close friends or real friends, you texting me or calling me wouldn't be an issue. You'd want to do that. Oh, gotta call Dan or gotta call right? Like,
it's like, no, like I'm thinking of them, like, and then like some people just like won't even pick up their phone, or like then they just like never get back to you. I'm like, I know that at some point you saw that I called you, like,
or you call, they don't answer. Hey, call me back when you got a minute.
Yeah,
and then they read that text and they never fucking call you back.
Yeah, it's like,
okay, fuck you then.
Yeah, like I got invited to like a party down at the coast, and like I got invited to a party down at the coast. Like, after knowing like the journey I've been on and everything like that too, it's like, like everyone would love to see you, and it's like, yeah, I'd love to see everyone too, but it's like,
but that's
why would I purposely place myself in that environment, and like that's what you're calling me for?
But I can see the other side of it though. Me too. Not that they're wanting to put you in that situation.
They just want to see me.
But that's when like everyone's together.
Yeah.
But it's like, why does everyone got to be together doing that? Yeah. Like, why can't we all?
Yeah. And that's the environment that they're used to seeing me in too, right? But it's like, yeah. I mean, it's just kind of like that's all it is for me, right? Like, why would I purposely place myself in that environment if like I don't have to?
Yeah.
And then I can't have like a conversation like this with you if you're like drunk or like or super high, and if I do, you're not even gonna remember it.
Yeah.
And I have lots of amends to make to people that would have been at this party too, and it's like that would have been like eaten away at me. It's like I can't make amends with these people right now.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, because if they're not sober, they're not actually gonna retain it or like actually understand where you're coming from. Like, because I know if you were trying to make amends to me and I was all fucked up or super stoned, I'd be like, all right.
yeah.
Okay.
Like, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool, bro.
Yeah.
That sort of thing. And it's just like, okay.
Yeah, no, I know. And I don't think they took it the wrong way either, right? Like, it's not like I don't want to see everyone, because I do.
Yeah.
Just not in that environment. Like, that's really all it is, right?
Yeah.
I miss everyone and I love them all dearly, but that's just not the right time and place.
Yeah. No, for sure.
I'd probably rather see them individually even, and then be able to have a conversation like this and be like, yeah, dude, that's my truth. That's my reality. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's not like, I don't know, like getting sober too is like, dude, I can't have fun anymore. Right?
Yeah.
It was like, fuck. But it's way better. Like, even though I'm sober all the time, it's like, I still don't remember everything that I do. You know what I mean?
I don't know. I know what you mean, but
it's like, I can't always be like, oh yeah, I remember when I had breakfast. But like, what I do know is that I didn't do anything bad, or like I didn't hurt anyone.
Yeah.
And like that's kind of like what's
the main goal, essentially.
Yeah, like I did the best that I could. It's all that I can do, and if you don't like that, then sucks for you, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. it's like crazy that, you know, you and I like just talked all this like, dude, you're a fucking ride or die, buddy. But like those were real words when they were being said, and then like now it's just like proof that they like stood the test of time in like adverse situations. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. No, like you'll be a brother till one of us goes, I guess. Fuck. I don't even like thinking about that shit, but yeah. No,
and I think we had to be put in those like adverse situations and stuff to just like, you know what I mean?
We won't dive into what made us fucking best friends, but
no,
that time in our life or whatever, definitely I'm grateful that we had each other for that and to go through that together and fucking, you know, like a shoulder to lean on, or buddy to smoke with or drink with, you know, like that's what we both needed in that time, and that's what made us fucking as close as we are today. And
because like we both got to play those roles, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I'm all sad and like, you know, and you're like, dude, like it's gonna be okay, man.
Like fuck it,
it's all good.
Yeah.
And then like I got to play that role for you too, and like, dude, it's just gonna take time, and like I don't know, time heals stuff, but not like time well spent. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, because if you just sit there and like keep thinking about it, then like time's not gonna do shit.
Yeah.
But it's like I also can't tell you how to, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Like you can be there for the person, but you can't tell them how to fix their shit.
Yeah.
You just have to be there.
Yeah.
And like that's what I'm super grateful for, and why we're so fucking close, right? Is we were there for each other when we needed each other, right? And it was like, what are you doing today? After work. Okay, we're hanging out if you're not fucking doing anything. And it's like we just go and bullshit for we hang out for like fucking 6 hours every day after work till like fucking 10 o'clock.
It was like a given. I was hanging out with you right after work.
Yeah.
It
was like I'm not even making plans with anyone else, because
pick me up at 5.
Yeah. I'll text you when I'm out of the shower.
Yeah.
Fucking be ready.
Yeah.
That sort of thing. And yeah, dude, that's honestly, like I said, what I missed the fucking most was that routine. And honestly, like living in Kamloops now is like what makes me kind of depressed. Like when I'm home off work, is that I don't have that routine. You know, like I don't have the okay, like I'm gonna go pick Dan up now. You know, like we're gonna go walk the dog and hang out. You know, it's just kind of like figuring out what I'm gonna do with my days off and that sort of thing, especially with the lady working and you know.
Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yeah.
Dude, fuck. Rihanna hates it, man. She's like, are you playing that game? I'm like, nope.
No.
Yeah, I am, dude. She's like, you play so much. I'm like, I start comparing myself to people who do like really game, and I'm like,
you're like, I could have 112 days played on this, but I'm only at like 10.
Yeah, so. I'm pretty much like, relatively speaking, I barely play games.
Yeah.
She's like, you've been playing that game all day for the past 2 days. I'm like,
okay,
like 4 hours each day. That's nothing.
Yeah. Which I mean, I don't even.
But dude, you get so invested. Like it makes me think of like you and like Yellowstone. This is like me and like I want to be a cowboy, dude. I want to get the fucking boot spurs, the cowboy hat. Yeah. And like when you were doing that show, I was like, dude, fucking Oakley's on one, dude. Wants to be a cowboy.
Why the fuck would he want to be a cowboy?
Yeah, and then now I'm like, dude.
Yeah, you start to realize you're like, yo, fuck, cowboy lifestyle is pretty fucking sick.
Yeah, I had jeans on. I had like a flannel, but like tucked in. Buttoned up all the way to the top, right? Cowboy style.
Yeah.
Rihanna's like, you look ridiculous right now.
Yeah.
I was like, I think I look pretty fucking sick.
Yeah.
I just need the hat, dude.
Yeah. Well, it's not even that I guess I do want to be a cowboy in a sense, but I'm not out here being like a fucking cowboy poser or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, I wear the fucking boots and the jeans and whatnot, but wear them because honestly they're comfortable.
Yeah,
and they're fucking useful.
I think the thought of the lifestyle is what's so appealing to me.
Well, yeah, like, for anyone who hasn't watched it, watch fucking Yellowstone, because that shit will make you go, huh?
Yeah.
Cowboys are pretty fucking cool.
And if you haven't played Red Dead Redemption 2, I know it's been out for a long time, but replaying the story mode.
Yeah.
It's a good fucking game.
No, it's something about just like the cowboy mindset or whatever, or just like being free, essentially, right? And just
yeah. I think what's so appealing to me about it is just like being a good guy, like someone with lots of honor, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then just like not being how do I say this? Like like essentially, like almost just like essentially be worried about like surviving.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like surviving and like loving the people that are close to you, I guess.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's kind of just like the good ethics thing that I like. Like, oh, this guy fucked us over. Like, now I'm gonna kill him. Yeah. Or like, not really that part, but like, because I try not to like live with those things either. Like, just let a lot of things go, right? But yeah, I think that just being like someone people can trust and like honesty, and just like those good principles is like what entices me. Like that's what I really like, and like helping people when they need it. Yeah, like just strangers. Yeah, right. And I don't know. I think that's the whole aspect about the game, but like more in a sense like the cowboy thing that I really like, because it's like I'm always like helping strangers in the game. They'll like, hey, help me, right? Yeah. And I'll like pull over and help them out or whatever. And then there's like an honor system. Like you can be like a complete outlaw, like piece of shit. Yeah. Or you can be like have like a really high honor and then that actually like changes the outcome of the game. Yeah. Which is pretty cool.
Well, I even find that in myself, I guess. Like the only reason I was out so late and fucking was tired and crashed my truck is because buddy's coworker was like, yeah, my truck's fucking broke down on the side of the highway. And it's like, okay, well, let's go save him then. And fucking illegal as fuck, but throw the tow strap on the back of the truck, hook it up to his bumper, and tow him down the highway with fucking no motor. Just cruising down the highway at 2 o'clock in the morning, right? Yeah. Just helping a buddy out so he doesn't have to pay the fucking tow truck and all this and that, just being a good guy, helping him out. Or if you see someone fucking like I said the other day, saw that motorcycle accident. I mean, I had no business running in there like I did, but I guess first aid trained. Someone said we need someone with first aid. Fucking ran in there. Yeah. Tried to help the guy. Unfortunately, ended up passing. Right, but it's just like having that, I guess, fire in your soul to be the good person and to like not be that guy that just fucking stands there and watches. Or like, oh, I could help you, but I'm fucking tired. Like I'm going to bed. Yeah. Like. Yeah. At the end of the day, like, who gives a fuck? Like, if someone needs help, help them. Yeah, exactly. Right? And that's what I like taking from it about the whole fucking cowboy thing and the honor, right? Yeah. It's like just having that in yourself to be the good person and to do that for other people, right? Like
a good moral compass. Yeah. That's why, and I think like that's been crucial to our relationship too, is like I could always count on you, like no matter what. Like, no matter how bad things got, or, like... But I never, I never blindsided you or broke your trust either, right? Or, was dishonest with you, or, slept with your ex-girlfriend, or, could be... Those are, that just, stuff was,
shit like that, fuck.
Yeah, but, that I would never do stuff like that, but it's, I feel like those people, for some reason or another, are, hard to find. Because, I already had a good moral compass before I got sober, but it just needed, a lot of tweaking and adjustment. You know what I mean? Yeah, that stuff, still, it's, I understand it a lot better now, why, and just how selfish those individuals are, because they're not thinking about hurting anyone else.
No, they're just I'm doing this for me.
Exactly.
And, yeah. If you actually just take the 2 seconds to fucking step back and go, what am I doing right now?
Yeah.
How can this affect other people? Like, especially like a fucking bro.
Yeah.
Right? Like, we both have had friends sleep with our exes or do shit with our exes. And it's like,
yeah.
Well, now I don't fucking trust you. You fucking scumbag. And, what the fuck?
I feel like once the trust, like, I feel like trust is like so valuable. Like, once you break my trust, it's like so hard to like get it back.
Yeah.
And like sometimes maybe never even possible.
Yeah.
Depending on, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's just so like, for example, like getting back together with my ex-girlfriend was like, the trust was already broken, right? And then it was like almost inevitable that it wasn't going to work out. And then it didn't work out because it was like, I don't trust you anymore.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Especially when you like know stuff and then you ask them about it and then they lie right to your face and you're like, oh, you just made things worse.
Like, yeah, if you were just honest with me about it, maybe it'd be a different story, you know? Like, if you could own up to your own shit, you know? Like, yeah, you might not want to deal with how I'm going to react to it.
Yeah.
But if I already know, right?
And that might be partly on my bad like reaction. Like, probably could deal with it better, but also that's a big part of like my sobriety too. It's just like being accountable.
Yeah.
Like, hey, listen, I fucked up, man.
Yeah.
Like,
well, it's like, just like I said, just be honest about it. You know? Like,
people struggle with that though.
Nobody wants to deal with shit.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, well, that even comes down to like your alcoholism, right? Mm-hmm. Like, it's just the avoidance.
Yeah, and
like,
yeah.
They don't want to deal with it, so they're either going to do something or to like either avoid the pain or just lie, right, to avoid the fucking truth coming out.
Yeah.
Even if someone like knows, well, in your case, you knew the truth, right, and you ask about it and they still fucking lie. It's like,
yeah, it's like, oh, that just hurts.
Yeah, it's like well, yeah, it's like what? Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's just that fucking slippery slope of digging yourself into a hole, right? And I just can't deal with that shit with people or like anyone.
Yeah, I think people just have like a lot of trouble just like being honest with themselves, like taking that step back and like, what's really going on here?
Yeah.
Or like, why am I trying to sleep with so and so's ex-girlfriend? Like what? Like
what? There's fucking 3 billion other females on the earth that you could go and choose from. Why do you have to go and sleep with your homie's ex?
And like,
especially like if you're close with them, right? Like in my case, I guess, like my friend was just trying to get back at me for shit that he didn't even know the full truth of. He thought I was like talking shit about him or something like that when I was just haven't seen him in a while. I think this is what he's up to, you know, and he thought I was spreading all these lies, which I wasn't. It just takes one person to fucking twist the story ever so slightly, and now he has like this vendetta against me. And he's like, I'm gonna go sleep with her to get back at him. When in reality, he's just like throwing a fucking 6-year friendship down the hole, right? It's like, what?
Like, he's actually making things worse for himself too.
Himself, and and like,
that's like, revenge is not good.
Revenge can be bittersweet, but can also just make things so much fucking worse.
Yeah.
You know?
It's just toxic to have that, like, way of thinking. Yeah. Like, oh, that motherfucker, right? But, like,
I'm so happy I'm at the point now where I'm just like,
you just have to let it go, because it's
I'm like, fuck it, man. I'm like, you know what? Who cares?
Yeah, it's not...
Like, I'm pissed off, but at the end of the day, I'm like, fucking life goes on. Like,
yeah.
Who cares?
That's the thing now is, like, when I see these things or, like, when I look back at my past, it's like, the way that I look at it now, it's like, oh, like, these people are just sick. Like, they don't know any better. Yeah. Like, they just think, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, that's just how I look at it, is like, oh, they're just really sick. Yeah. Like, they just... Yeah, they're just... Because I look at myself, too, I'm like, oh, yeah, like, I was fucked up, too. Sure, there were some things that I would never do. Yeah. But there were also things that those people would never do that I did. Yeah. Right? And, like, things that I did that I would never do sober, had no idea I was doing blackout, like, you fucking cunt, right? And like, right? Just like, but when I was sober and we showed up, it's like, oh, it's a great time.
Yeah.
But then once the devil comes out, then it's time to play, right?
Yeah.
And then it's like,
oh, we've seen the devil a few times.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck it. You know, like I said, just a learning curve, right? Like you like you said, there's like a path that we're all on, and you just have to go through that shit.
Yeah.
And learn from it, and get to this point where you can look back and kind of laugh and be like,
right?
Fuck. Yeah. Like, what the fuck was I doing back then, you know?
I think the big part of that too, like for me, is like looking back and like, oh, these people are just like really sick. Makes me like have a lot of empathy for them, and like I just love everyone.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's not even really their fault. Do you know what I mean by that? Like, they just don't know any better.
Yeah.
Like, they don't know what it is to, like, be fully honest, or, like, maybe, like, Joe Rogan said this thing, which I try to remember all the time, is, like, he just looks at adults, like, at one point, like, you were a baby. Like, I don't know how you became this person, like, what your childhood was like, how you grew up, who taught you any ethics, if you have any, or, like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Then sometimes I have to remember that, like, oh, not everybody was, like, blessed with, like, the good parents I have, and, like, they love me, and they live by good morals and principles. But I was just, had alcohol play in there, too, which made me become somebody that I don't know, right? Yeah. Like, so. Yeah. Because I guess the way that I look at it is, like when I got blackout, like, all those emotions that I'm pushing down just come out in, like, a tornado. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, 1 second, I'm, like, crying. I'm like, I love you, Oakley. And then, like, a couple minutes later, I'm, like, fucking pissed, right? Like, because it's just, like, a whirlwind of, like, that's how I look at it.
I can recall multiple nights where you're, like, all upset and exactly that. You're crying. You're like, I love you so much, buddy. And then, like, 3 minutes later, you're like, fuck you, man. What the fuck? Motherfucker. And I'm just like, dude. I'm like, you know what? Go to bed. Yeah. I'm like, I'm going to go home. Have a good night. I love you too, man. Yeah. But I can't do this. I'm not dealing with this shit right now. I'm like, we were having a good night. 5 minutes ago, you were fucking telling me how much you love me, and now you want to fight me because I'm not getting you more alcohol, or I'm not driving you to the liquor store or something like that. Yeah, like, just fucking take me, man.
You don't even care about me.
Yeah, you say you love me, you're fucking lying. I'm like, what? I'm like, no, I love you. That's why I'm not fucking playing into this more. I'm like, shut the fuck up. Lay the fuck down. Let me fucking tuck you in. Go to bed. Yeah. And then you'd, like, I'm sure you'd wait till I'd leave, and then you just start fucking drinking more, and I'm like, that fucker. I wanted to kick the fuck out of you sometimes, bro.
You're, like, leaving, and you just know that I'm, like, not staying tucked in. Fucking, like.
Well, it's like, out of love, I wanted to beat the shit out of you sometimes.
Of course. Like, oh, yeah.
Like, just fucking stop. Yeah. Like, dude. Yeah. Just, for one night. Yeah. Just don't. Yeah. And you're like, I won't. And I'm like, I'm like, okay. You're not gonna drink anymore? No, I'm going to bed. I'm like, okay, put on fucking, what was that show that you'd always watch on fucking History, like the American Pickers or whatever. Yeah. I'm like, put that on, stay on the fucking couch, turn your phone off, go to bed. Yeah. Okay, I love you, Dan. Good night. Yeah. I love you too, buddy. Yeah. I'm like, you're going to bed, right? You're like, yeah. No. No, wasn't going to bed. Fucking, and that shit would piss me right off, but. Yeah. And then,
because you're trying to understand it, like, why won't this fucker just listen? Like,
I'm like,
what is his deal, dude?
Yeah, but you were just all fucked up, and
Then you get a phone call later, probably.
Yeah.
Oakley. Yeah.
I'd leave. I'd tell you to go to bed. It would be like midnight or something. I'd leave 3:30 in the morning. blowing my phone up. I answer, I'm like half asleep. I'm like, what? You're like, I love you. I'm sorry. What happened? And I'm like, I put you to bed. I don't know what happened. And you're like, oh, fuck. I don't know. I kept drinking. I'm like, fuck. I'm like, no. You're like, who did I call? I don't know who you called, bro. Yeah. You tell me. You're going through your phone. I'm like, no, you didn't.
Yeah.
Stop that.
Yeah. Dude, those nights are just like, there's so many nights like that where I like woke up and I looked at like the people I called and I'm like,
those late night texts.
And then sometimes it'll show like how long the call was. I'm like,
what did I say?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then it would make me worried too, because like you'd switch up, you'd go from like I love you to like you fuck you motherfucker, blah blah. And I'm like just thinking like the people that you called, and if you were doing the same shit to them, I'm like no.
Yeah.
Because like as your best friend, I'm like I know that you're just fucked up or whatever, right? Yeah. And I'm like he's gonna call me in the morning and be like, bro, what the fuck happened? I'll be like, you were a little fucking cunt last night, you fucker. Like, why were you being like that or whatever? But I'm like, if you like some of the shit, like if you did that to anyone else, I'm like, fuck.
Yeah.
I'm like that.
And then the crazy thing about those mornings is like you tell me like what happened or what I did.
And you're like, what?
Yeah, and then I'm like, fuck, well, like, we gotta drink now.
Yeah, and you're like, well, I don't want to think about that.
Yeah. And then do it all over again. Yeah. But I was thinking, like, just having this conversation, I was thinking about, like, sometimes when we'd just be in the truck, like, having those days where, like, so much was going on in my head where I would just, like, be sitting there, like, just quiet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm just, like...
There's lots of times, too, like, when we both would just be there sitting in silence where I'm like, fuck, do I just go drop this kid off right now and go home and go to bed and like hang out? But I was like, no. I'm like, he's next to me. I know he's safe. He's not getting fucked up right now. Like we smoked a joint. He's chilling. I'm like, he's gonna sit with me until I know it's bedtime. When like I can tell you're like fucking bobbing to sleep, and I'm like, okay, I know he'll go to bed when I drop him off. That sort of thing. So like, it was just shit like that, like I guess taking care of you in a sense, because I guess like my subconscious knew that something was going on, right? Like and that's why I would, I guess, keep you in the truck as long as possible and like not let you go home and start fucking drinking or take you to your car to where you could like wait till after 11 o'clock before like the liquor store's closed and that sort of thing. I'm like, hey, he can't tonight. It's another day down where he's fucking doing all right. But then again, your parents always had fucking alcohol in the house too, so I'm like, fuck.
Always stealing that.
The fucking huge bottle of vodka in the fucking cupboard. I'm like,
gone in like a few days.
Yeah, I'm like, no. I know he has that in there. I know it's in the house.
Yeah, if I haven't drank it already, then.
Yeah, or there's fucking the full liquor cabinet and you start fucking grabbing random shit out of there. You're like, whoa. I guess we're drinking this now because the vodka's gone. I'm like, fuck. I'm like, no, dude. I'm like, just, no.
Yeah.
Don't.
Well, I hate to say it.
Fucking how
long? I think it's fish o'clock.
Fish o'clock.
Yeah.
Fucking right. Fucking.
Love you, buddy.
Love you too, buddy.
And I guess that's the wrap to the first...
first EP.
Yeah, the first official episode.
We'll have to do another one.
Oh, for sure.
Fuck yeah.
One of many.
Oh yeah.
Be one of the recurring constant guests.
Oh yeah. Every couple months or so, fucking sit down, talk about some random shit that's going on. Fucking
life, man.
Fucking life.
Yeah, let's see how far we are in here.
Woo!
Hour and 40 minutes. All right, adios.